Hi, our team worked on modeling working memory deficits in schizophrenia. Deficit in working memory is shown to be a cognitive symptom of schizophrenia. Our research was inspired by a hypothesis that states that schizophrenia patients have difficulties in short-term memory span tasks because of limitations in representational capacity and maintenance of information over delays. By limitations in representational capacity, they mean that patients with schizophrenia have lower memory slots than typical people. Typical people have 7 plus or minus 2 slots, which is the magic number defined by George Miller. So we asked ourselves, what factors cause poor performance in memory-related tasks? In addition to fewer memory slots in patients with schizophrenia, we hypothesize that patients with schizophrenia have different abilities to make connections between pieces of information in memory, and the strength of these connections are weaker in patients with schizophrenia, and the ability to retain information for different periods of time also affect the functioning of the working memory in a recall task. To test our hypothesis, we attempted to recreate the results presented in this study for the performance of patients with schizophrenia on recall tasks as compared to a neurotypical control group. We created a working memory model and ran 6 million simulations by randomizing the 4 variables in our hypothesis over a semi-random search space. Each simulation was a representation of a particular agent's working memory over a period of time. Using our performance results on the N back-forward recall tasks, we determined the ranges for each variable in order to match the performance accuracy for both one back task for both typical and atypical agents, and we tested it for 2 back and 3 back tasks. Our performance accuracy is reflective of the performance accuracy shown in the earlier mentioned study, within an error rate of plus or minus 7% for atypical and plus or minus 10% for typical agents. Our result shows a correlation of performance accuracy with 3 of the variables in our hypothesis. These variables are connection strength, numb connections, and retention time. The number of slots was not correlated to how well an agent performed on a recall task. With our results, we have simulated a typical agent and an atypical agent. Observe the difference in storing, retaining, forgetting information in the two as a function of the associations and retention time. In conclusion, we partially accept our hypothesis. We reject the first claim that was made about the number of memory slots, but we accept these 3. This indicates that more work needs to be performed to verify our model and our results. Thank you for listening.